Hello again. It's me and my handy dandy microphone. Welcome back to another I don't have a podcast, but I have a lot to say. I have good advice, you know? It'd be criminal not to share it. Today to drink, I have an almost done Spanish latte. That was bussin'. It was really good, okay? I know what you're thinking. Daniel, that's not a microphone and you're not on your bed. Why are you still using it? I feel like I just want a microphone in my hand and I don't have one, so this is the next best thing. Anyways, let's just dive right into this, shall we? Let me start this with a little story. If you know, I love talking. No one gets it, but I'm really shy in real life. People are always like, oh, like, how are you shy? You have your whole YouTube channel, this, that, and the next. But I'm actually a really shy and nervous person. Like, I love talking to people. I just get really nervous to do it. But lately, one thing that I started doing is if I go to a coffee shop, if I go to the store, if I go anywhere, if I'm at the mall, if there's someone next to me who they're also by themselves, because I go a lot of places by myself, I will talk to the person next to me if they're also by themselves. I'll crack a joke or something because who doesn't want to hear a funny joke? Everybody does. It'll help you make your day. Usually, like, I'll crack a joke to somebody and they just shine me off, whatever. You know, some people don't want to hear a joke. Some people don't want to talk, and that's okay too. But I'm always thinking, why does no one want to talk to me? You know, I love talking to people. The thing that got me thinking that was everybody always says, oh, at Dutch Bros, the cashiers always try talking to you, like they try having a conversation with you. And I'm always thinking, why do they never have a conversation with me? Like, what's going on here? And so I want to have a conversation with people. So I go to this coffee shop the other day. I always go there to get my coffee beans because I like coffee. This guy's standing next to me. Well, he's behind me in line, and we're the only two people who are alone. Everybody else has a partner or they're in a group. No one there was there alone except me and this guy behind me. So I was like, okay, let me test out the waters. I asked him, like, oh, how do you come here a lot? And he actually was like he lit up. And I was just thinking, wow, does this guy want to talk too? Like, does he also want to have a conversation with me? He goes, oh yeah, I come here a lot. Like, I live really close. What do you like to get here? And I was like, cool, this kid's conversating with me. And so we're talking, you know, he gives me his recommendation. I don't take the recommendation. I'm just kidding. Yeah, we're having a conversation, and then I'm up to order, and I'm like, okay, nice talking to you. I go, I order, I sit down, wait for my drink, and I'm just sitting there because lately what I've been doing is I try not to be on my phone a lot. I've been trying to, if I'm out, see the sights, you know, whatever, just not go on my phone. Once in a while I fail a little bit. It's hard being by yourself and not being on your phone. Some people just think you're an oddball. But I sit there, I'm looking at the bag of beans I just bought, and the kid comes and sits next to me, and he goes, what was your name? And I was like, someone wants to have a conversation with me? Like, who wouldn't want to have a conversation with me? I'll get to that joke later. Like, I'm so funny and I'm so chill. Like, why don't people want to have a conversation with me? And this kid was like starting a conversation and all this and that. And he was like, how old are you? And I was like, oh, I just turned 23. He was like, no way. I'm going to turn 23 on Monday. This was like a few days after my birthday. So I was like, no way. I just turned 23 on Tuesday. And he was like, no way. Basically, we're just a couple days apart in age. It was so like crazy. I still remember the kid's name because somebody told me once, always ask their name and remember the color of their eyes. I don't remember where I heard that, but that's what I do now. Anyways, yeah, it was everything I had ever wanted. I want to have conversations with people. I love talking to people. It's so fun, especially like seeing that somebody else wanted to talk also. Like this kid lit up when I talked to him, like if he's been waiting for this, and I've been waiting for somebody to talk to me. So it just kind of felt perfect, and you wouldn't guess that. If you knew me literally last year, I've always been a really insecure person, and I would say I'm a lot more confident now than I've ever been in my entire life. This year, I've been working really hard on my confidence, more so than usual, and I feel like it's working because of, I don't mean to be cliche, but they were right when they said, fake it till you make it. They said, baby, you gotta fake it till you make it, and I did. I always do this joke now, where for anything I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so funny. Yeah, I'm so cool. Well, yeah, I'm so awesome. I'm so talented. I'm so this and that and the next. I'm so hot. I'm so handsome. I'm so, you know, did I believe any of it? No, not at all. I was over here saying it to people. I didn't believe it one bit. But I used to make such self-deprecating jokes. And in hindsight, well, no wonder I was so insecure. I was, you know, talking shit about myself. You know, if people talk shit about me, whatever. But me talking about myself, why the hell was I doing that, you know? A big change was, this is going to sound so dumb, I don't know, is Audrey Hobart. The way she presents herself and talks about herself is so interesting. Like, she's so funny, and she's constantly saying, who wouldn't want to be friends with me? You know, I'm so awesome. Like, why aren't you guys, you know? And it's like, it comes off to some people as cocky, a big ego, whatever. I need to be confident, so I need to start saying stuff like this about myself. Anything positive about myself. If it's funny, it's funny, you know? I do most of my stuff through humor. So if I'm making jokes along the lines of, oh, I'm so funny, I'm so cool, I'm so handsome, I'm so talented, I'm this, that, and that, you know, it did slowly start to rub off on me. And now I do see it as, like, obviously not to that extent, but I do think, I used to think I was the ugliest man on earth, but now I don't think so. I'm at least a 2. I am talented. That's one thing that I allow myself to be really confident about is, you know, I do have a lot of talents. I do have a lot of skills. I am really smart. Like, that's just subjective, you know. I allow myself to be confident in that. Even that, I was like, I know how to do so many things, but I suck at everything. Some things I do suck at, but a lot of things I am good at. And I decided, no, I have to allow myself to think that I'm good at these things. And it does add to your, you know, perception of yourself. Like, I am talented. I am good at this. I am good at that. Sure, I'm not good at this other thing. Whatever. It's fun. I am good at painting. I am good at drawing. I am good at guitar. I'm not good at tennis, but it's really fun. I can be. I just need to work on it, you know? Things like that. Like, I'm not the best or anything. I'm not better than other people, you know? It's just, I am good at it, and that's fine. But in order to get to this point where I didn't feel like I suck at everything, I had to say, oh, I'm the best painter. I'm the best at this. I'm the best at that. Did I believe it? Not at all. But I needed to say that to get to a point where I do feel a little bit confident. I don't think I'm the best, but I like to joke and say that I'm the best at a lot of things. And, you know, I'm starting to believe it. I'm really good at stuff. I'm good at a lot of things. Duh. Hello, I'm me. I'm perfect. Things like that. Like, those are the kind of jokes that I had to make to get to this point. And, you know, some people are going to think that I have a big ego. That's fine. Like, if you just hear the jokes, I would think I have a big ego. But it's funny. Now the way I see it is, everybody wants to be friends with me. Who wouldn't want to be? If you don't want to be friends with me, you're just boring. Like, I don't actually think that. I don't think people who don't want to be friends with me are boring. Like, like, you know? More like if someone's mean to me. Like, if someone's rude to me. Like, if I crack a joke at a cashier and they just don't laugh and they're just going, okay, your total's $20.78. Then it's like, okay, like, sorry. My bad that you don't like jokes. Sorry. I mean, obviously everyone has their moments. Just I like to tell myself that so that I remember that it's not that I'm not funny. Because honestly, one person told me that we don't talk anymore because I'm not funny. And then used my jokes on somebody else, and it's like, okay, like, I have to be pretty funny at least. Which brings me to my next point. The way I see it now, I used to think I was like the most annoying person, the least funny person, the least interesting person in any room that I walked into. And those jokes that I make, like, I constantly say, oh, I'm so funny. Like, how do I do it? I needed to make those jokes because now I do believe that I am a pretty funny person. You know, people laugh at my family doesn't laugh at my jokes, but they're not my target audience, you know? It's okay for people not to think I'm funny. That's totally fine. But I tell myself, like, why aren't they laughing? Like, I'm so funny. Why aren't they laughing at this? Obviously, I know it's just we have different humors, but I just tell myself that so that I don't start believing that I'm not funny again, you know? See, I'm telling you this, but in order to have this mindset, you have to be a good person. I know I'm saying all this, and there's going to be some duds. That sounds mean, but it's true. There's going to be some people out there who are bad people. I don't want bad people thinking like, oh, I'm the best person. I'm the most funny person. Because it you know, the way I see my life now is I'm such a good person. I'm so nice to people. I like to make people laugh. I like to make people feel good. I like to make people smile. And whoever doesn't want me in their life, okay, sure, whatever. I'll be fine because somebody's going to like it. Somebody's going to want to be friends with me, you know? And my friends like being friends with me. At least I think so. I mean, who wouldn't want to be? No, just kidding. So the way I say it now is if somebody wants me out of their life, sure, whatever. If somebody kicks me out of their life, your loss. You have to see it that way. You have to see, I think everyone needs to see themselves as the prize. Don't act entitled to things, but see yourself as a prize. Because you are. my little kings and queens and everything else in between. That being said, if you're a bad person, work on it before you start thinking about yourself this way. Well, okay, that sounds mean. Work on yourself. Don't think you're the best person on earth if you're mean. Work on it a little bit. Tell yourself you have the potential and work on it, and then I'll allow it. Because being a good person is crucial to having this mindset. Because, I have my fair share of things that I did that weren't so nice. I'm not saying that I'm mean or anything, but sometimes you slip up and you say something that doesn't come off as nice, like it comes off as mean. And in order to have this mindset, you have to be okay with messing up sometimes. But when I say this, I mean you also have to be okay with looking into yourself, realizing why it was wrong, and apologize when you need to. Like, yeah, I think I'm the funniest person. Yeah, I think I'm so nice. Yeah, I think I'm so funny and this and that. I'm a pretty self-aware person, but once in a while something slipped through the cracks and something comes off as mean. And, somebody tells me, oh, that was kind of mean. I think about it. Sometimes people do get offended too easily, but sometimes it's, you were being offensive. Sometimes it is miscommunication. If I make a joke like, oh, somebody this, that, and the next. And if they take it the wrong way, that's one thing. But if I say it and it just comes off the wrong way, then that's on me. If somebody tells me, oh, what you said sounded kind of mean, but it was just miscommunication, then I explain what I was saying, and then, it clears things up. Sometimes they tell me something was mean, and in hindsight, like, I think about it and I think, wow, that was mean. I didn't mean to be mean, but it came off as mean, so it was mean. Do I think like I'm a bad person if I say something on accident? No, but it was mean. I did something mean unintentionally, but it was mean. And, you have to apologize when you need to apologize. Does it happen a lot with me? No, because I try really hard to be nice to people because I don't like to make people feel bad. I hate it. That's my least favorite thing, is for somebody to feel any negative emotion because of me, because of something I did, because of something I said. I don't like it. I like to make people happy. I don't like seeing people sad. I don't like seeing people mad. Worse if it's because of me, Sometimes you got to take it and you have to say sorry and work on it. Anytime somebody's told me that I did something mean and I realize that it was mean, I work on it. I think about it. I apologize. I don't do it again. That's the whole thing with apologizing, is when you apologize, you know that you're wrong and you know that you won't do it again. And that's part of being a good person. You can be a good person and slip up sometimes. It happens to everybody. Being a bad person is when you know this, or you refuse to believe it, and you don't make the effort to fix it. That's just being mean. I've also changed my mindset for this when it comes to dealing with mean people. Dealing with people who have it out for you. Do I have a lot of that? No, but it comes up. And, well, you have to change your reality and change your mindset when it comes to mean people. Sure, somebody might hate you for something dumb, for what you're wearing, for your personality. And if you're a good person and you're a good person, I say change your mindset. Tell yourself, oh, they're obsessed with me. It might come off as like a big ego thing. Don't tell people that, like, don't be like, oh, they just hate me because they ain't me. Like, you could tell it to yourself. You could joke around about it with yourself or like with your friends or stuff. But, don't act like that to everybody, For example, recently there's been some people saying not the nicest things about me in my life, my personal life, on the internet, and every aspect. And sometimes some people are just mean to nice people. And what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. You obviously shouldn't give attention to those kinds of people, but to yourself, you can change the way you see it. For example, there's been some people watching my stuff. They didn't want me in their life anymore because of one reason or another. But the thing is with me, everybody that I don't talk to anymore, this is going to sound a little bit morbid, but the way I see every person that I've ever, been friends with, been whatever with, I think to myself, this is going to sound morbid, but I think to myself, if they were to die right now, would I feel guilty about the way I acted with them? And I've gotten to a point where there's been a lot of people where we've had amicable splits. We're not friends anymore. We don't talk anymore. But it was just, we grew apart. Other people were mean and I had to cut them out of my life for my own sanity. But I didn't want to be mean to them, I wasn't going to be mean back, just I had to distance myself from certain people. Other people just didn't like me, find me annoying, whatever. Sure, I wasn't mean to them. Out of my life. And, some people have been watching my stuff recently. I don't know if they know that I can see it, but I see it. I would think to myself, like, that person used to say really mean things about me. Like, they're probably looking at my story and still saying mean things about me, making fun of me, whatever. A lot of people have made fun of me for having my YouTube channel. Do I care? No, I'm gonna keep doing it. But, sometimes it would make me feel a little bit bummed out. But that's what I'm saying. You have to change your mindset. So the way I change it now is, oh, they're just talking about me because they're obsessed with me. They're not a thought in my mind ever, and they're watching my stuff. Me famous? You kind of it just helps you out a little bit more. Like, don't get cocky with it. Don't think everyone's obsessed with me. I joke about that, but do I think it? Like, that's a whole different story. But you don't want to talk to me, but you're watching my stuff, so you're obsessed with me type thing. You have to do that to help yourself feel a little bit better. And it works. And it does change the way you look at life. It makes you see that as less of a negative and more of a positive. That's one more view on a YouTube video. That's one more view on an Instagram story. Do I post anything mean? No. Do I post anything bad? No. So if they're hating on my stuff and I post mainly just funny stuff, it does show more about them than you. If you're posting just positive stuff, somebody's hating on you, it shows a lot more about them than you. There's been some people recently on the internet, in my personal life, talking shit about me. It's like, whatever. Some people I've had to distance myself from. And if they're talking shit about me, then it's like, you're in my business and I forget you exist every day. And I changed my mindset to, I don't really care about their business. I forget they exist and they're talking shit about me. So they're in my business. Meanwhile, I don't really remember they exist half the time. So I'm like, I would have a hard time getting over me too. I'm really funny and full of life and full of joy and talent. I'm so handsome. It's like, I don't really care about you and you're in my business. You must really think about me a lot. That's how you have to see it. Sue me. Is it true? Maybe, maybe not. But that's how I'm going to see it. And that's how you should see it too. If you're a good person, remember, if you're a bad person and somebody if somebody comes up to me like, oh, this person's talking shit about me, and I ask why, what happened? Oh, because I told him that his grandma's ugly. Then it's like, okay, it's kind of warranted. If you're mean and someone's talking shit about you, don't take my advice. I'm not going to give you the same advice as, some people just need to hear it. But if you're a good person, you're a good person, you didn't do something wrong, then take my advice. It really helps the way you look at things. Now, certain people, if I hear, oh, this person's saying this about you, I would also be talking about me 24/7, I'm used to people being obsessed with me. Recently, there was this thing that happened where somebody was saying that Daniel's this crazy person. He's probably doing this crazy thing, that, like, watch it, like, he's insane. Whole time, I was in my bed working and watching The Amazing Digital Circus on YouTube. It's crazy to think that there's somebody out there thinking, oh, Daniel's this weird, mean, crazy person. He's probably going to do this, that, and the next while I'm in my bed watching YouTube. That's why I started thinking this way. Somebody could have such an insane perception of you. And if it's not true, then don't pay any mind to that. Tell yourself they're obsessed with you, king, queen, everybody else. Sometimes you got to think about yourself. Hear how hollow that is? It's actually not hollow at all. It's really dense because my brain is huge because I'm so smart. I'm adding this little piece because I forgot something that I wanted to say in this video. I ran out of coffee beans, so I'm drinking water. Everyone who doesn't think I drink water, suck it, bitch. I used to always do this thing where every night I pray for everybody that I've ever made contact with, everyone I've ever been friends with, everyone I've ever whatever with, everyone I've ever been a family member with. Whether we talk anymore or don't, I wish the best for every single person that I've ever had in my life. Good or bad, ended good, ended bad. I always wished the best for people. But recently, I realized something felt a little bit off. And there's certain people that I don't really want to think about ever again. Certain people that have hurt me. Some of them don't think they did anything bad, and they tell themselves they didn't do anything bad, but they did. And if they don't believe it, then, all I ever wanted from certain people was a sorry, but I don't think I'll ever get that. And I'm over here wishing them the best, hoping everything goes great for them. And I have this friend who told me recently, you don't have to do that, right? And I was like, what do you mean? And he told me, if somebody hurt you, you don't need to wish them the best. You don't need to wish bad on them, but you also don't need to wish them the best. You don't need to wish them bad, but you can just wish nothing and just not wish for them at all. And eventually you'll forget about them. And, well, I started doing that, and I feel like I've been way happier, thinking about certain people way less, and I feel lighter. At first, I did feel a little bit guilty because something went a little bit wrong in one of their lives after I stopped doing that. But then I thought to myself, that's nothing to do with me. It's not my fault. I didn't do that. And sometimes you just gotta be a little selfish. I don't think it's selfish, but you can hope everything goes well once. Boom, put that out. That's it. That's done. Boom. Don't have to wish them good. Don't have to wish them bad. Just, they're done. Done with your life. You learned your lessons. You had your fun times. Boom. And certain people need to be cut off to be happy. Maybe not forever. Maybe forever. Friends, families, members, whatever. Sometimes it's just got to be done for you to be happy. And if something goes bad for them, you already wished your wells. You already wished your goodbyes. It's out of your hands. You didn't do anything. I'm talking about the people that were bad people to you, not like if you were bad to them. But yeah, I just want to end this in real quick. So that's why I'm in a different outfit and a different angle and a different drink. Even now, sometimes I slip up and I think something bad about myself, or somebody will say something mean and I'll believe it for a split second. And then I have to remind myself, no, Daniel, you're not annoying. Just to the wrong person, you might be a little bit too much for them. That's okay. Doesn't make you annoying. I'll think to myself, Daniel, you're not funny. No one's laughing at your joke. Then remind myself, everybody has their own sense of humor. You know, it's a bit of a touch and go thing. Just got to remind yourself about certain things. Remind yourself that you are literally him. You're literally her. You're literally them. Remind yourself. Think about it that way. You're the prize. Everyone's obsessed with you. Everyone's talking about you. Everybody's in love with you. Who wouldn't be? You're so talented. You're so smart. You're so funny. You're so good looking. Everybody wants you. Everybody wants to be friends with you. Everyone wants to be you. And that's just how you got to think about it. I tell myself all the time that I'm funny. Hello? I'm so fucking funny. Who wouldn't want to be friends with me? Who wouldn't want to be friends with someone so funny and chill and awesome and lighthearted and full of joy and whimsy? You can get to this point too. Obviously, I don't have an ego. I like to joke and say I have an ego, but I just think it's funny. So the wrong people, it's not funny, and then you just don't make those jokes with people. But I usually just make those jokes to myself or once in a while to my friends, because you have to believe it. And if that's how you're gonna get yourself to believe it, that's what you gotta do. And it's okay. As long as you don't get to a point where you actually have a big ego and you're cocky, that's a whole other can of worms that you don't want to open. I never want to be cocky. I never want to have a big ego. The jokes I make it come off that way, but I just need to remind myself sometimes that I'm the whole package. And the way I see it is, it's crucial to keeping yourself happy, because at the end of the day, the only person that you're gonna be with your entire life is yourself. So you shouldn't be focusing too much on other people's perception of you, on other people's opinions of you, on other people's ideas of you. Just your own. As long as you're happy and you're focusing on making yourself happy and you're a good person, you're winning. Not that it's a competition. Your only competition is yourself. And it's not first place, second place. It's just winning or losing. If you do all these things, you're a good person, you're nice to people, you're winning. If you're mean, you're running towards the losing side. But just change it. Just be nicer. You don't need to be mean. Being mean is free, sure, whatever. Being nice is free, and you feel better. And I already covered all my topics, but the last note I have here is be happy and make that your life mission. And I genuinely believe, to me, the meaning of life is being as happy as you can be, making life as happy and joyous as it can be. I think a lot of people should start doing that. It's the best thing ever when you're happy. I never want any of you to be unhappy either. You know, if you're mean and you're unhappy, try being nicer. That could fix it. But my least favorite thing is when somebody who's really nice, who's really kind, who's really happy, who's really funny, who's really talented. I don't like for those people to feel bad about themselves, especially if it's because of something somebody else did or said. And that's why I'm telling you now, you need to change your reality and change your mindset and remind yourself that you are the best person in the world. You're the funniest person. You're the most awesome person. You're the most chill person. You're the most talented person. You're the most gorgeous person. You're literally the best. I want you all to know that. And I want you to remind yourself that. So that the next time somebody tries to make you feel like less than that, no, I'm funny. No, I'm really nice if they think I mean whatever. No, I'm really awesome in the full package. If they think that I'm worth nothing, then they're just insane. No, I'm really nice if they're talking shit about me, they're obsessed with me. And I want you all to be just happy. And I hope you are. But that's all I've got for today. I hope you take all this into consideration. And I hope you all strive to be the happiest, just the best version of yourselves. And if nobody's told you today, I love ya. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. See you next time. Bye.